First, we Christians believe that when God spoke to the humankind, it is God Himself, of course, but it is the Word of God. So I believe that this Mr. Green, as you said, Hitler looks like Christ to me,
That's what
but I may be wrong. He lives at the border of two waters. But we know that when God created the world, He first created two waters, the waters of down and the waters of up. That means for me, and that's the way I do interpret it, is the human nature of the world and the divine nature of the world. Because the Word of God is divine, but it's also human. It says in human languages. So that's why the Hid is put between two waters. Can we go further?
You never told me this before, first time I'm hearing it. The second one is, we were introduced in today's seminar to the concept of a Khilafah state, meaning a state in which governance is based on truth, rule is based on truth, law is based on truth. We in the world of Islam long to restore that Khilafah state. What is the state of the Orthodox Christian world?
First, I would like to say it's very good to try to restore this. But the Christians, we know that we will fail. Our kingdom is not on this earth. We will fail. But we can find a way to save ourselves. And the point, it's fantastic because Sheikh Imran is the first one I've heard about that. He said, when you have a debt, you're on a wrong way. You shouldn't have any debt. You shouldn't accept to take a debt on you. We Christians, we believe that nobody can escape the debt. But we say, if somebody owns you, you forgive you. You erase the debt. And not only we say that, but we say that every day, 10 times a day. It is in our prayer, which is called Our Father. And when the prayer in the Orthodox Church, it's not falsified, like in the Catholic world. We don't say, forgive us our offense.
Sins.
Yeah, we don't say that. We say, forgive us our debt, as we erase the debt of our. We say that every day, 10 times a day. So one way to escape the debt, of course, I have a debt with my parents because I'm living. I have a debt with Sheikh because I'm learning from him. We all have debt. But if somebody owns you, please forgive him. Let him, make him a gift. And that's what I believe Putin does when he erased the debt of Cuba. He erased the debt of Cuba, and I want, if any state in Europe pretend to be Christian, to erase the debt of the third world country. Otherwise, you are not Christian.
Sheikh, we only have another 10 minutes in the room, so
yeah.
if we can.
Okay, I know you got lots of questions on the US elections. Yeah. So before we only have another 10 minutes. So let me just briefly comment on it. Briefly. I think there will be few who would differ that if the US elections had gone the other way, we would have been facing war with Russia, certain war with Russia. And war with Russia will obviously be nuclear war. those who control the media, radio, television, newspapers, the polls, they all waged a furious campaign in support of the other side, wanting, therefore, a result from the US election which would have led to war with Russia. The first comment I have to make is that we could no longer say that all the American people are like sheep. Because despite the most massive effort at brainwashing that we have ever witnessed in an election, a majority of the American people emerged out of it with sanity intact. Sanity meaning we don't want a nuclear war. And that is a hopeful sign that if the American people can resist brainwashing from the media and from government and so on, the same thing can happen in France tomorrow. I hope it does. The same thing can happen in Germany tomorrow. I hope it does. And those who are lusting for war with Russia will suddenly find that despite all the efforts that they make, the majority of the people reject them. Surely this is a hopeful sign that the cause for the human brain and the human mind is not lost, that people can still think. If this is possible for nuclear war, that they can recognize what is being done, this is also possible for the truth which is in Islam and the truth which is in Orthodox Christianity. That people who previously have been brainwashed that Islam is only terrorism, and Orthodox Christianity, they've been waging war on Orthodox Christianity for the longest while.